put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. We continue the conversation this morning with Mauriska Thomas, and certainly conflict resolution coach joining us here this morning. I think I was going into one of your other areas of responsibility, but we're focused on the conflict resolution side this morning. How to identify that your friend needs help. And we're diving straight on into that topic because we're operating in a space, we're operating in a Tobago. In fact, it's safe to say we're operating in a world where sometimes we have those persons that always seem to be that stable one keeping the group together, that friend that we feel we can go to no matter what challenge or circumstance we have, but we don't ever sometimes pause to recognize that this might be a two-way relationship and that kind of need, because we are all human beings. So we want to dive right on in and starting from that perspective.
Well, in terms of abuse.
Correct.
Well, generally, the strong friend is a person who takes and takes and takes, but they don't show, right? A lot of times, many persons would refer to that friend as the person you could come to, just like you would have said. But that strong friend, I think, many times, that person, apart from dealing with their friend's issue, they have their own issues, and their mode of resolving would be to probably talk with themselves, probably read, listen to podcasts, things like that. But for you to identify if your friend is going through a problem, the most basic thing that you can do is to ask a question. Now,
just before you go on there, I want you to tell us, how do you sometimes, you get to that borderline? We are always talking as friends. I might be telling you certain things, you might be telling me. We get to that point where, how do I get to that point of defining this is no longer just sharing information? I kind of need to decipher it as there is a need for help.
Well, from being friends, you would know your friend's general disposition. The person is a generally jovial person,
right?
And you realize for some reason, which you don't know, that the person's demeanor has changed. They seem more towards themselves, and you say to yourself, well, something doesn't feel too right. To approach them, it could be, of late I've noticed a little shift. I'm not sure what's happening, and I don't know if you really want me to be in your business. So I'm not trying to be there too heavy, but are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help you? So just asking it in that way, it gives the person an avenue to know that, there is somebody who would listen if I'm willing to talk. So not necessarily, so the person wouldn't be like, okay, I am always lending myself to everybody, but nobody cares or nobody notices that something might be wrong with me.
Excellent indeed. And I want to go one step further. And we diving into what's probably sometimes that uncomfortable area. You are in what is an abusive type relationship in the circumstances, and the help that you're really looking for is, I may not necessarily come out and say it. And you have seen those signs, and you now realize, just as you mentioned, you pressed a little further. What are some of the obvious steps that you encourage persons to take in those circumstances?
Well, for a friend, if a friend is noticing that you might be going through something, apart from asking the question, even if you say, I'm okay, one of the things that your friend can do is to have a contact card. But you can make it up for yourself. If you want to type it, you want to write it, whichever. But you give it to the person and you say, just in case you need it, I don't know everything, but just in case you should need it, this is available. And you put your number on it as well, so that even though they should know it, but at least they know that you are there. Apart from that, if they do decide, I would like to receive assistance, you with your friend or an external party like a coach, a counselor or so, you can decide to make a plan, an escape plan. And the plan may look like, one, getting all the numbers necessary, the emergency numbers, fire, police, whoever necessary. And you could pack a bag. an emergency bag which your friend can keep. After that, well, in your emergency bag, you'd have whatever medications you need to have, important documents, your clothes, any keys that you need, or copies of keys that you need. Apart from that, the other thing you can do is to make sure that you monitor the person that you're with. That way, while making your plan, because at this point in time, you're not looking for errors. If there's anything that you're questioning, make sure you go it over 2-3 times, because an abuser is going to make sure that if they find out that you're trying to leave, they're going to make it harder. So you're going to make sure that you know the time that they leave, you estimate the time that they would be back, things like that. So you make sure that everything is on point, so you know what is supposed to happen, your friend knows what is supposed to happen, everything is to sync in order for, well, we call it an escape, to be successful.
To be able to be successful. For those hearing and tuning in, Mauriska, how do they reach out or contact, or are they able to follow up with you and the services that you provide as a conflict resolution coach?
Well, you all can contact me, Mauriska Thomas, at 375-8771. You can WhatsApp or message me there if you want further assistance, if you want to understand what abuse looks like, how to make a plan, how to escape, things like that. So 375-8771.
All right. Thank you very much there again, Mauriska Thomas, conflict resolution coach. Really just giving us a touch into some snippets there, the little things we take for granted, because we tell ourselves all the time, oh, our friends are doing good, especially those that are strong ones. And it might just be a little something, nothing to worry about. And sometimes we have to be that person that helps them along the way to identify where there may be challenges. Thank you so much for joining us on set here this morning. Viewers, we want to thank you for continuing to tune in and to choose the Tobago Updates morning show. As we bring this segment to an end, we prepare to head on into Tobago Notes, followed by Good Morning Tobago.